Hey guys, hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to this Facebook Live. I am Shalini Yamdagni, founder of magicalpainfreeliving.com, and I'm an international and physical and emotional pain relief expert. And I do these weekly Thursday Facebook Live sessions, sharing with you tips and tools on different topics to empower you and support you and share with you things that I've learned along my journey. So this week, the topic for this week is, you can see this, moving from procrastination to inspiration. Hi Neha, hello, thank you for joining. I haven't met you, but I've seen pictures of you. So nice to have you here. So today's topic is moving from procrastination to inspiration. And I know that, all of us at some point in our lives have this issue with procrastination. And so that is the topic for today. So what, just to give you a bit of a peek into what's coming. So we'll be talking about what is procrastination, because maybe it means different things to different people. So what is procrastination? What are some of the surface symptoms of procrastination? And I will explain what I mean by that in a bit. Some of the common excuses that we give for procrastinating. We don't think we're procrastinating, but we tell ourselves these things why we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And then I'm going to be sharing with you some of the tips that you can use to overcome this procrastination and step into inspiration, right? Inspired action. And get the results and move towards the dreams that you've been wanting to move towards. Okay, so welcome Denise. Hi, so nice to have you here. And so what exactly is procrastination? Now, just generally, it is we all procrastinate, right? We all procrastinate. We know that right now, maybe you're supposed to be doing something really important and you're listening to me. I've done that many times. I'm supposed to be doing something and, I'll say, I'm just going to look at those cute doggy videos. Yes, I do. I do look at those cute doggy videos. My daughter and me do that. Or I'll just be, roaming around Facebook and seeing pictures of my friends and their friends when I'm supposed to be doing some sort of work, right? So we all do that. And in today's world, we have like so many distractions. Facebook is one, social media, and so many, entertainment methods of entertainment, and so much to distract us from. So it's so easy to procrastinate now, right? So, jumping into, if you are a procrastinator, then do comment like me, I don't believe I'm the only one who procrastinates. So come on guys, like show me your hands and say, me too, I procrastinate. So, and what do you procrastinate on? I'm usually doing this, I usually procrastinate about work. Other things, cleaning house, no way. I'm good with that. So we all have our things, that we procrastinate on. So what's your thing? What are you doing where you find yourself like, I always push these things off for the last minute? Tell me about it, right? Denise says. So, let's jumping into, I can keep talking about this, but moving along, what is procrastination? So I did a Google and I wrote, what's procrastination? Or I think I wrote procrastination definition. And if you Google it, this is what's going to come up. It says action of delaying or postponing something. Okay, that makes sense. Then there was a funny thing underneath it. It said, your first tip is to avoid procrastination. Well, that's the tip that they gave. And it's so simplistic, right? I was almost laughing when I saw this tip under the definition. I'm not kidding you. Go Google it. Definition of procrastination. And this is their big tip. Avoid procrastination. Like, really? You know, that's like telling a person who is trying to lose weight, just avoid food. or somebody who's, you know, I don't know. It's just so simplistic, because there's so much more to this issue of procrastination. And, you know, we all experience different intensities of this, you know, ailment, if I may call it that. And for some, it's, you know, we have those people that will do things just in time. My kids, you know, just in time to like crash it. Last night, my son was out, you know, figuring things out last minute, and then he was able to submit his due homework just in time. And then there are those different intensities of this ailment, right? The procrastination cycle, where it is not funny anymore. It is really more serious, and it keeps you from living the life that you truly, truly desire. So I was having why am I doing this live topic on procrastination? I was having a conversation with a client who said, Shalini, don't you have a procrastination EFT tapping video on procrastination? You know, I really want to use one when I'm not with you and I find myself procrastinating. And yes, you know, I do have like 70 over videos in my YouTube channel, but I don't have one specifically on procrastination. So here I am doing a live Facebook live session on procrastination to help you better understand what it is about. And, you know, it's not really about addressing procrastination, right? You can say, even though I am procrastinating, because there are underlying issues, and we need to understand that. And the other reason, okay, let me tell you, so I was talking about the just-in-time kind of procrastinators, and then there is a woman I was speaking to, and, you know, she signed up for one of her the discovery sessions that I do to see if, you know, we want to work together, or, you know, to understand better the concerns she had, because she had sent in an application saying she's been feeling stuck for 10 years, and she wants to move forward in her. She's single. She's not being able to move forward, you know, attracting the right relationships. She, you know, is struggling. She's feeling stuck, no energy, no momentum. She feels drained, exhausted. And so while I was having the conversation with her, she was, you know, I asked her, like, what do you think is keeping you stuck? And she said, procrastination. And I was asking her, how does that show up in your life? Like, what's going on? And she said, you know, my home, she's just moved to this country. I'm not going to name her. I'm going to call her Annie for the sake of privacy. And Annie moved to this wonderful town, Paris, and she has a lovely home. It's really a nice home, but it is overcrowded, and it is stacked with curtains and stuff that she needs to, you know, organize. And it's been a long time, and she's still not been able to do it. The other thing she was talking about is her office. Her desk is a big mess. She's always having trouble, you know, finding the right stuff, and she, you know, she's not able to organize her time, and she feels she lacks the discipline. And so what happens is there's like piles of stuff, and so she's living under constant stress and not being able to finish her projects. So she gets slack from, you know, her bosses, and she feels like everybody else around her is moving past her, getting the appraisals and moving to the next level and the next level. And just have people who started at my level who've gone way beyond, and I'm still here. And I said, what are you doing to take care of this? And she says, I've been trying to better manage my time. I've been trying to have different behavior patterns. I'm trying to eat better and just trying to get my life more in balance. So this is just to give you an idea of what procrastination can do. This has been like going on for 10 years and it's still going strong. Her social relationships, her work, her performance, her feelings about herself, right? Everybody's moving past her. Her house is a mess. She said, Shalini, I have such a pretty house in Paris. I want it to be like a beautiful sanctuary. And I know that it can be that way. It's just, I'm so stressed at work. I have unfinished tasks. So the Saturday, Sunday, she has no time to socialize or do any of the house, cleansing work because she's overloaded with work that she hasn't finished, And so this is how the cycle shows up and in different people's lives. So on the one hand, there is, these are some of the surface symptoms, right? These are the surface symptoms. It looks like for her, Annie, lack of time is a problem. Lack of organization is a problem. There are so many things out there. She says, Shalini, you have no idea. I have so much, on me. There's so much to get done. Okay, that I just can't get myself to get organized. So it's like a vicious cycle. And so these are some of the other excuses some people give is, it's like, I have other priorities. I have to do that too, and I have to do that too, and they never get around to doing the task that they need to get done. So I don't know if you can relate to this. I don't know if you resonate with this. If you are a procrastinator, I would love to know what are some of the excuses that you tell yourself, like, this is why I'm not doing this. Okay, and why do I call it like the surface symptoms, right? Surface symptoms, because they're not the real problem. Avoiding procrastination, as the definition earlier said, is not the real problem. There's something going on deeper, underlying, otherwise we could all fix it, right? We could all just easily fix it, just, manage the time. But she's been trying to manage her time and all those things for the past 10 years. Okay, so here's something that I've written down that I want to share is I need more info. Some of the common procrastination excuses that people make up, and she was making up too, and I make up some of these, and I know tons of others do. So if you do one of these, comment below. What do you tell yourself? Why am I procrastinating? So I need more information. This is what my client that needed the procrastination video, last week was saying. I need more information to be able to go and do this talk on Ayurveda because I don't feel like I'm an expert and they've invited me, and so I need more information, right? Or you might be telling yourself, I really don't need it right now. I really don't need to do this thing that I want to do, but I really don't want to do it right now because there are, we kind of prioritize other tasks and we say this is not so important because there's so much more to get done right now, right? And I'll start later, I'll start afterwards, or something came up. Of course, something came up, right? Something's always coming up. And, if we're not clear about what is the underlying thing, we just get lost in these cycles like this lady I was speaking to, and she's still stuck and still, circling in this blame, external excuses and stuff, because she wasn't aware that there was some underlying issues. And so trying to fix the behavior pattern, trying to fix the symptoms. I always, when I'm talking about physical pain, you can use the medications, you can use pills, you can use balms, you can do physiotherapy, but that's still not taking away the root cause of your pain, your sickness, your disease, okay? You're just trying to fix the symptoms, and it is a temporary thing. It's a band-aid. So you're trying to change your behavior, and it's not really address the underlying problem. So that's why, we want to know the symptoms are not the root causes, okay? No matter what issue you're looking at. The symptoms are the surface things that are going on, that you see, that you know, that you are sort of aware of, but it's very different from the underlying root causes. And so, you want to know, that your subconscious, okay, we have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind. You think of an iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is your conscious mind. That is 5%, some say, of your, brain. Only 5% at that conscious level. And the rest of it, 95% of your brain is subconscious. And it's that 95% of your brain that is subconscious that's running your life. Really, that's running your life. And you think the time management, whatever I was sharing earlier, that is the cause of procrastination. No, it's just the symptom. It's the 5%. 95% is what's going on in your subconscious mind. And that is what is at the root of all problems, procrastination or anything else. So here is something I wrote down to share with you. Your subconscious mind runs 95% of your life. Okay, so what is going on in that 95%? What is at the root of what's really going on, right? Is feelings and emotions, okay? There is fear, feeling overwhelmed, okay? Just feeling overwhelmed. I'm a solo entrepreneur, and talk about feeling overwhelmed. It doesn't matter that I've been doing 10 years of EFT tapping. I know how to overcome overwhelm, but do I feel overwhelmed? Oh yes, all the time. Every time I'm doing something new, getting to this Facebook Live that I've been doing for the past, I don't know how many months, since September 2007, it took me a while to start doing these Facebook Lives, and I was overwhelmed at the idea of doing weekly Facebook Live, but that's what my mentor suggested I do, to share, right? Instead of waiting for some speaking gig, just go out there and share, because we have this platform right now. But I know there's a lot of amazing people out there that would benefit from sharing and help others to know from their wisdom, but they're not doing it because they feel overwhelmed, they feel anxious, right? And so they're not doing what they could be doing, what would be good for them. It would be a win-win for them and for the audience, right? And the other thing is that the other reason we procrastinate is because we feel like this is not going to be fun. This is going to be really, really hard. This is uncomfortable. Okay, maybe it's a new thing, and you feel like this is out of my comfort zone. It feels hard. Okay, it feels not fun. It doesn't feel easy. So we don't do it. Okay, fear of judgment. Like, who doesn't have fear of judgment, right? We always think like, okay, so if I do this thing, if I do this Facebook Live and it sucks, then people, will judge me, make fun of me, make comments about me, and I will feel like crap, right? So fear of judgment, no matter what we're doing, it could be a new thing, it could be, an old thing. We have fears about being judged. We have fears about expressing who we are. We have fears about voicing our truths because of fear of judgment. So we just keep shut and don't do what we need to do. Fear of the unknown, I just said, it's a new thing. Maybe it's a new thing for you, whatever you're procrastinating. Maybe you've never done it before. Like me, I've never done live videos before. And so it was a fear of the unknown, right? I have to learn the technology. I have to learn how this Facebook Live works. I have to know how to put the information. I have to know how to broadcast it to my other channels. There's a lot of stuff to learn, and it's new, and I it's like stepping onto the unknown, and it's uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the reason why we procrastinate. Fear of failure, of course. Like, what if I do this, no one shows up, no one's interested, or if I do, if I do show up and I do something and it's not good, so then I'll feel like a failure. And so why bother doing it? So I procrastinate, right? Fear of rejection, it's related to fear of judgment. And then, of course, self-doubt. So, there are all these masks that we wear underneath the surface symptoms of procrastination. Because under the mask of, I am not a good time manager, is the mask of, if I do that, then I might be judged and I might get criticized, and then I'll feel like a failure, right? And then I'll doubt myself, and then I'll feel, if I put myself out there and then it fails, or if they don't like it, then that means I'm not good enough. And so I don't want to know that I'm not good enough. So I'm just not going to put myself out there, and I'm not going to do this action that I need to do, because, everything is about self-worth, right? In EFT tapping, if you are familiar with EFT, we have a standard phrase, and it says, even though I have this problem, I love and accept myself. Self-worth issues. At the bottom of the whole, bottom of the sea of this problem is this: everybody suffers from this not good enough. And so when our self-worth is threatened, and we feel, that this is going to make me feel like, I'm not good enough, then we will do everything to avoid doing that task. I don't know if it's making sense to you. Ram says we are subconsciously really screwed. Well, it's true, but once you are aware that this is what's going on in your subconscious, awareness is key, right? Then you won't get screwed, because then you will be aware, okay, this is what's really going on, and that's why I'm not managing my time. It's like self-sabotage, right? You're not managing your time. You're not finding the time to do this task. You're prioritizing everything else, because this is the undertone of what's going on. I don't want to feel bad about myself. I don't want people to judge me. I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to be made fun of. I don't want... I feel so overwhelmed. This doesn't seem easy. This doesn't seem fun. I'm not doing it. Okay? So once you are aware that this is what's going on, then you can begin to really tackle this issue with this procrastination cycle. And, I don't know what kind of a procrastinator are you. Some people are, there are two types, right, of situations where we procrastinate. One is with deadlines, like my son, my kids. I see this over and over again. Sometimes me, I have a deadline to do Facebook Live every Thursday. So I need to get something organized before that. My son, he'll be procrastinating and he will look at videos and he will do different things. And then the night before what's due, he'll spend hours till like 2 o'clock. He's 17 now, and finish it off. So there are those times that we procrastinate when we have a deadline. But there are also times when there is no deadline, right? There's no deadline. I don't have any, okay, I have a deadline for this Facebook Live, but really to do my work, I have no deadlines. I can do my work. I'm a solo entrepreneur, and I know other entrepreneurs out there, Ram is one, who, I have the freedom to do what I want, when I want, where I want, how often I want. So there is no deadline. And so if I'm going to keep postponing, right, then here is, what happens. The cycle. So the first thing is, if you have a task to do, you take action. I'm sorry, it's a big mess, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. So you have a task, you take action, you get a result, right? But in procrastination, you have a task, you have all those resistant feelings, okay? All that stuff going on underneath, resistance, and then you take no action, you get no result, then you feel sucky, you feel bad, you feel guilt, you feel shame, you feel not good enough, you feel like a loser, you feel like, I don't have it in me, and then you go back and you don't do the task. So it's like a vicious cycle that keeps you from doing this task, because there's this resistant feeling, you're not taking action, then you're feeling worse for not taking action, and it's like a reconfirmation. See, I'm not good enough, I'm a loser, and you have all this guilt, and then you go back there. And that was happening with this lady, because she really wants to do this, right? She really wants to get her life in balance. She really wants to go out there and do a good job with her work and get her house into this, to become this beautiful sanctuary, but this cycle just keeps her stuck. And I don't know what is keeping you stuck right now. Where are you stuck? Are you stuck? Where are you right now with a task that you want to do, that you know you want to do, but you've been pushing it off, and you've got this going on? So where are you procrastinating in your life today? What is that thing that will, if you do that one task, it'll give you that momentum. It'll give you this movement to create this momentum, this happy energy. Everything is energy, right? And emotions are energy in motion. And when you've got all these stuck emotions just lying there, then there is no movement and there is no momentum. So what is that task for you? What task are you procrastinating on, and what have you got going on here that is keeping you from doing that task? Are you getting any awareness? Are you resonating? Let me know what's going on with you, where you are procrastinating. And here's what you can do. Can you see this? I know there's like strong light here. So, okay. So what can you do? I've listed 6 things that I think you can do. I'm sure that, you can Google. There's tons of things. But for me, the most important thing that I have been able to do to keep moving forward in my life, as an entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, on my own, trying to do this as a business, moving forward, is I always look at the underlying resistant feelings that I'm feeling and address those first, right? Everything is energy, right? So you have a task and you line up your energy. with that task. But if you have a task and you're not lined up with that, then you are not aligned. And so you need to line up by releasing those resistant feelings, because here's the task, this is the resistance, and so you're not there. So once you clear this resistance, I'm making funny movements with my hands now, and I hope this is making sense, but then when you clear that resistance, you line up, and then you can do the task, because then you're not feeling resistance, you're feeling neutral, maybe you're feeling eager, maybe you're feeling excited. So I call it lining up your energy. And energy has a lot to do with your emotions, how you're feeling. And once you feel okay, once you feel all right, not resistance, not fear, not self-doubt, not shame, not guilt, not anger, not overwhelm, and all those things, then you're feeling okay, at least neutral about doing that task. And then you can begin to take action. So one of the first things that I do to overcome areas where I find myself procrastinating is address the underlying emotions, the resistance that is keeping you from feeling okay, feeling good, feeling excited, feeling eager, okay? Number 2 is know your why. You know, there was a time I wanted to do my first retreat in Bali, and there was so much head voice in my system saying, what if no one shows up? What if this? What if that? And then I had to go back and ask myself, why bother, right? Why bother with this task that you want to do? What's your why? So you really need to know, why do I want to do this task? Why is doing this good for me? So I had to go back to all the reasons why I felt so passionate, so excited, so, you know, like I want to be there in Bali and I want to do this. And I had watched some of the retreats and I wanted to create the same thing, and I knew I had value to offer. So you have to know your why. Why should I do this task? What's the good thing? You know, what's the good thing that's waiting for me when I tick off this task? Like when I do it, what's that good feeling? Why I want to do this task, right? So know your why. I hope this makes sense to you. I can't see this myself. So the other thing is, write out your to-do list, okay? This might seem like simple, but trust me, when we have this list circling in our heads, right, it creates overwhelm. I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh yeah, I have to do that too. And don't forget about that one and that one and that one. And it's all in thin air. Take a paper, write it down. Make that to-do list. Simplistic, I know it sounds, but so valuable, so valuable, so valuable. Okay, now out of that list, pick the easiest, the babiest thing to do from that list. It could be, I don't know, what feels easy, the easiest thing for you to make a little tick for having taken one teeny tiny itsy bitsy action. You know, we have to treat ourselves like little scared children, you know, and pat ourselves on the back and say, wow, you did so great, Simba, my dog. You have to understand that there's a real scared, afraid, nervous little child inside that is scared. So do the babyest thing, and then, I don't know if you can see this, praise and appreciate yourself for each tiny, big, small, medium, half medium step that you take, because it is so important to gain momentum, right? It is so, because what is procrastination? No momentum, feeling stuck, no movement, right? So taking that baby step is creating movement, okay? Movement, and that is going to, like a little fire burning now, and it will create momentum. And of course, 6 is get expert help, support, guidance. And I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so going back to myself, I have at different points in my life, I know this stuff, right? I've been doing tapping for a long time. So I'm addressing my inner feelings of fear and worry and all of that. I go back to my why. I write out my list. I'm taking action. And yet, many times I find myself still stuck. Okay, because I'm not a marketing expert. I'm a pain relief expert. So now, as part of being an entrepreneur, I have to do marketing. I have to know how to use different systems, and it is overwhelming. I cannot tell you how stuck I feel sometimes because I'm not a Facebook expert. I'm not a marketing expert. That's not what my training is in. I'm a pain relief expert, and that's what my expertise is. And so if you find yourself stuck because you are trying to be an expert in something that is not your expertise, you are going to keep yourself stuck because you will be overwhelmed. You will not feel confident. And every time I have invested in an expert who believed in me more than I believed in myself, first of all, right? And who had the tools, it was easy for them to help me because that's their expertise. That's what they're good at. So if you are an IT expert, right? Or you are a hairstylist, or you are a CEO of a company, with technical expertise, you don't have the emotional emotions management expertise to help yourself. And so it really pays to invest in expert guidance, because otherwise you will you will plateau out. You will again be at this no momentum place. You will feel upset, you'll feel sad, you'll feel frustrated, and you will feel overwhelmed rowing this boat on your own. And you know what? You'll want to give up. You'll want to give up that dream, that desire, that goal, that task, whatever it is. So what you can do is any of these, all of these, and if you are curious on how do I address and release the underlying resistant feelings, Shalini? Well, my tool is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And I cannot think of any tool really that is the fastest, easiest, the most natural way to clear these resistant feelings that are at the root of procrastination. And I do not have a video on procrastination, but I swear I have a video on letting go feelings of overwhelm, letting go, feelings of unworthiness and overwhelm and anxiety. So if you are interested in using EFT as a tool to clear out those feelings of resistance, that's, I think, the most important step, because you know what happens is when you clear the resistance, in comes the inspiration. It's like there's this clog in your system, right? And suddenly it's cleared. And now there's this free-flowing energy, and you allow inspiration to come in, ideas to flow in, your intuition to kick in, good ideas come to you, new ideas come to you that were blocked from coming. And so you move from procrastination to inspiration. And when you take inspired action, it's so fun. It feels so fun. It feels so easy. It feels like the natural next step. And maybe in that inspiration, you are guided to do this, to take action, to get expert guidance. So really the first most important thing is to clear the resistance. And if you're interested in knowing how to clear any resistance that you've got going, I have like over 70 videos now in my YouTube channel, and many of them address all these underlying feelings that are at the root of procrastination. So I hope this is, this has been valuable for you. If you have friends, family, contacts that are struggling with procrastination, do share this with them, tag them. I would love to know what you got out of this. What are you going to do to overcome your feelings of procrastination? And, so thank you so much for joining me here. Jen Wei, Ajay, Sandeepa, Stanley, okay, Stanley Le Carpentier. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Adam, thank you everyone for joining me. I'm so glad that you were able to be here and play along with me. And thank you for all of you who are watching me either on Facebook replay or on my YouTube channel or on my, wherever it is, LinkedIn, or I share this in different social media. Thank you for joining me. If you have questions, please comment below. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, this time, this day, Thursday, and with a new topic and a new, inspiration to share with you. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.